We've had so many films delayed this year that there's a pileup of must-see movies waiting release soon. Here's our list of the biggest movies to watch in 2021. Like so many long-running series, the third Kingsman movie is a prequel, and it's set decades before the first two films. It explores the early days of the secretive Kingsman spy organization and stars Harris Dickinson as a young agent.
You're going to need a suit.
It's directed by Matthew Vaughn, so you can expect a similar mix of intrigue, comedy, and just absolute bonkers action scenes. While Spider-Man is out hanging with all his cool friends in the MCU, Sony's universe of characters from the Spider-Man comics are doing their own thing. Morbius stars Jared Leto as a scientist who is given vampire-ish superpowers after an experiment to cure a blood disease, of course, goes wrong. The original Morbius comics had a dark horror edge, and that just might, maybe, give this movie an R rating. We'll see. No Time to Die is the 25th movie in the long-running James Bond series. Daniel Craig returns as the British super spy for the 5th and probably final time, and now he's facing off against a mysterious villain named Safin, played by Rami Malek. There are a few characters returning from previous films, including the iconic criminal mastermind Blofeld, played by Christoph Waltz from 2015 Spectre. With The Quiet Place, The Office star John Krasinski proved that he has serious skills as a filmmaker. The movie was a critical hit and grossed more than $340 million worldwide. So of course, Krasinski is directing a sequel, which brings back Emily Blunt once more, and from the trailer, it kinda looks like Krasinski himself will appear for at least one scene. Feels like we've been waiting years for this Black Widow movie, but now it's nearly here. The movie is set after the events of Captain America Civil War and sees Natasha return to Russia to sort out unfinished business involving the Red Room, that training program that produced Black Widow agents. The first trailer didn't give too much away plot-wise, but it looks like a mix of Bourne-style action and MCU-style humor.
Natasha, don't slouch.
I'm not slouching.
You're going to get a back hunch.
Listen to your mother.
Oh my God, this...
Up.
All right, enough.
The Saw series is one of the most successful horror franchises of all time. And of course, the 9th movie is on the way. The awkwardly titled Spiral from the Book of Saw stars Chris Rock as a cop who gets pulled into a strange murder case, which seems to have links to the activities of the notorious and very dead trap-setting maniac Jigsaw. The concept for this movie was pitched by Chris Rock himself, and it looks like he has a lot of love for the franchise. It's been a while since we've seen a movie from the main Fast series, but the family will be back soon, minus Dwayne and Jason. Helen Mirren and Charlize Theron will also reprise their roles from The Fate of the Furious, and John Cena's coming in as a new addition to the cast. This will be Justin Lin's 5th time helming an entry in the series, and by now, fans will know exactly what to expect. Get ready for some more impossible car action and somehow the return of Han.
Nice clubhouse.
The latest movie in the Ghostbusters series is returning with a sequel to the original 80s movies. The film takes the action of New York to Oklahoma, where the grandkids of one of the original team members encounter something weird happening in their town and discover a link to those first ghostbusting legends. The new cast includes Paul Rudd and Finn Wolfhard, and there will be appearances from many of the original cast, including Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Sigourney Weaver. The first trailer gave a Stranger Things vibe, and director Jason Reitman will hopefully deliver some of the magic that his dad brought to the classic first movie. Top Gun was the most successful movie of 1986, and now stands as one of the decade's most iconic films. So it's kinda surprising that it's taken over 30 years for the sequel to arrive.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
With Tom Cruise on board, there's no reason to think that Top Gun Maverick can't match the original success. The cast will also include Ed Harris as a tough admiral, Miles Teller as the son of Maverick's late pal Goose, and Val Kilmer will reprise his role as the Iceman. The tradition of turning rides into movies has had mixed results. Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean ride became a hugely popular 5-film franchise, and the studio will be hoping for the same for the Jungle Cruise. Dwayne Johnson plays a riverboat captain, and Emily Blunt plays an adventurer who hires the reluctant Johnson to take her on a dangerous mission. Will this be more Raiders of the Lost Ark or Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? We'll have to wait to see. Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn will make his DC debut with the Suicide Squad. While the movie does include several cast members from the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, such as Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, it's not exactly a sequel. The film will feature a host of new stars, including Idris Elba, John Cena, Michael Rooker, Pete Davidson, Nathan Fillion, and Peter Capaldi, and it's been described as both a gritty 1970s war movie and a comedy. We'll Find out exactly what Gunn has in store when his movie arrives on HBO Max in August. As well as directing the hit movies Get Out and Us, Jordan Peele is kept busy by writing and producing a slate of other genre TV shows and movies. He's co-written this new version of the 90s horror classic Candyman, which is based on the story by Clive Barker. It's described as a spiritual sequel, but will feature the original star Tony Todd as Candyman. I have to stop talking about this movie here because I can't say Candyman again. You know the rules. Frank Herbert's classic sci-fi novel is getting a new movie adaptation from Arrival and Blade Runner 2049 director Denis Villeneuve. Dune was previously adapted by David Lynch in the 80s and as a TV miniseries in the early 2000s, but both versions were flawed. And Villeneuve's undeniable vision as a sci-fi filmmaker, plus the amazing cast he's assembled, promises great things from this saga of warring galactic families and gigantic spice worms. The huge success of 2018's Halloween reboot/prequel proved that Mike Myers might never die. Director David Gordon Green has shot the next two movies back to back, and the first will be out in October. Original star Jamie Lee Curtis is back again to fight this masked maniac, Michael Myers, on the streets of Haddonfield once more. And series co-writer John Carpenter will provide yet another iconic score. The third movie, the almost certainly inaccurately titled Halloween Ends, is due sometime in 2022. Thanks to the unrelenting persistence of many fans online, I think we might actually finally see Zack Snyder's original vision for the DC movie Justice League. Snyder was famously replaced during the making of the film by Joss Whedon, and the end result was not exactly warmly received. But in 2021, the Snyder cut of Justice League will premiere on HBO Max, and with a surprisingly long 4-hour runtime. Very curious how this will turn out. Wes Anderson's idiosyncratic and stylish comedies have won him a dedicated fan base, and his latest movie looks every bit as stylish and as funny as the likes of the Royal Tenenbaums and the Grand Budapest Hotel. The title of the film refers to an American magazine operating out of a French city during the mid-20th century. And the usuals are all here: Bill Murray, Adrian Brody, Owen Wilson, and many, many more.
You're fired.
Really?
You might not know the name Sean Levy, but he's a producer and writer on Stranger Things, as well as the director of the Night at the Museum movies. His latest film is Free Guy, a sci-fi comedy set within a fictional open-world game titled Free City, which is likely based on Grand Theft Auto and a bit of Fortnite. It might also be inspired by Cyberpunk 2077 by having some long delays. We should finally be seeing this sometime in 2021, hopefully without any bugs in it.
Hi.
That's definitely not everything coming out in 2021. You can head over to GameSpot for our full list, and let us know what movies you're most excited about in the comments, and subscribe for more movie videos.